Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Lately, if you have been watching the internet, especially TikTok and Instagram, and I also found out even Facebook, there are groups that are doing that. You'll see videos that are showing India or places in India where they're cooking food with absolutely zero hygiene and zero, health focus. Like, suppose they're making a sweet. The guys over there will stamp it with their legs and, put it on the floor and, to flatten it, use their feet. There are ones where they show hundreds and hundreds of flies, okay? And there are some really disgusting ones where this guy is sitting down and there is food and he's taking and scratching his ass, putting his hand in between his butt cheeks, his crack, and then he's smelling his hand and then he's busy putting it back into the food and making something. And there is one where one guy, he's standing and there are people passing by. He puts a goblet down, urinates in it, puts water, and he's using that same utensil to serve people. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. And to my surprise, I found a lot of content creators, including Thai groups, where they're saying this is India. Okay, and yes, you get other content creators. They show like, oh, I visited India, smiling, and then you go this way. And okay, now people have asked me what are my thoughts about this. First and foremost is, this is the harsh reality of what happens in poor countries. You can see any video of any poor country, you will see really explicit and shocking lifestyles or behaviors that will really question, like, what the fuck is this? Is this even real? Okay, that's number one. But number two, which I want you to understand or keep in mind, if you really search hard, you can find shocking, despicable things in every country and every culture. And there is no exception to this. Like, for example, we look at the West as a high watermark of standards, right? The West. Just be careful. Seriously, be careful if you are going to Google search this. Be careful. You'll get very distressing images. And if you're underage or young, please don't listen to this. Just search, Google search SCAT, SCAT. Okay. I hope those images are not there. But it is nothing but a person lying on the ground and you defecating in their mouth. Okay, that is SCAT. And during the early days of the internet, when porn was just freely flowing around, peer to peer, I've seen some of these videos where I could not believe, really could not believe. They're actual Westerners who look nice and expensive cars, and they take this girl. And there was this one particular video, I'll not go into graphic detail because this can't. Very beautiful girl, very beautiful, petite, young college girl. You could make out she's like college. And they go with a bunch of young boys. And they have this fat old man. I think he was drunk or whatever. Ugly looking guy, hairy. They make the girl lie down, put the camera, and you know what happens next. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. In fact, over the years now, especially now Twitter and Instagram, they've shown videos of men and women. Like I saw this one. This guy, he is just like totally pissed drunk and all that. And this fat, oversized white lady, she goes to this black guy who's homeless. She bends over and just butt naked, publicly, in front of everybody. And he proceeds to take her from behind, to the point where when he's about to climax, they actually show everything. Okay, this is the progressive society of the West. So now, don't you think that is even more disgusting? Or do you find that acceptable? Now, I know what people will say. Oh, but you're taking extreme. Yes, in the same way, what you are sharing or what you're seeing, the reason why we find it shocking is because either it is not part of our culture or it is extreme. Part of our culture, like for example, Chinese. They eat dogs, they eat frogs, they eat snakes, they eat worms. In fact, if you see Cambodia, Thai, even Thai videos, they will show you actually eating live animals. They'll dip it in chili sauce and you'll see them moving. Centipedes and frogs, all alive, and squid, all alive. They'll just dip it in the sauce. You'll see them wriggling, and they'll show, and they actually show it for views and all. I've seen Chinese, I don't know, they are food bloggers or whatever. There's one particular, I don't know, animal. It looks like a penis, and when you hit it, it squirts like a white liquid, and they will bite it and show you with chili sauce. So different cultures are there. You and I will not find it acceptable, but for them that's a way of life. Now you can say they are disgusting, but they looking at what you're doing, they'll find it disgusting. Like for example, the Westerners never use water to clean their rear end, just tissue. Can you imagine eating something, after you eat it, you just use tissue? Is your hand clean? So just imagine that their private parts are so disgustingly dirty. But I'll tell you, when there are people who get very offended and angry, people from the West, and they say, not like you, what, shitting on the streets, they get defensive. They don't admit this is a problem. So my point that I'm trying to drive home here is, yes, I admit this is the reality. Reality in poor places where there is no health and safety, or there are no checks. Yes, people are doing this. These videos are caught live. Okay, there's nothing false about it. Now, can you do something about it? No, you can't. So people, what they're doing is they're sharing this to make it viral. Now just imagine the person putting his whole hand into a cauldron filled with some liquid or masala or this thing. He's putting his whole hand in and stirring it with his full hand. Now obviously you and I would find that very disgusting. It's like, man, we don't know where your hand has been, all the dirt on your hand you're putting in. Even sometimes they serve juice that way, they move their hand that way. Some I've seen where they serve, ice. It's put on the streets and the same ice is used, and they shave off the small pieces, they put juice and give it to you. So, these people who are consumers, they know what is going on. For them, they don't mind. Why? Because they're used to it. They live in poverty. You see some of the videos taken from the African continent, some countries where people are eating on the ground with sand. In fact, I found out one temple in India where they eat on the floor. It seems they clean it so very well, and I don't know, I would find it very uncomfortable. Actual rice, rice, like the floor is wet, they clean it, they put rice curry and they eat from this temple and they feel it's holy. There are even videos which have gone viral of Indians, one Indian doctor, you can Google search this went viral. He's actually eating a cow that literally shat cow dung, okay, fresh, wet. He takes it and says, oh, this is so nutritious, and he eats it and he drinks, puts a glass, a vial down when the cow is urinating, and he takes it and drinks that liquid. Arabs have said, oh, this is disgusting. Well, guess what? I've seen an Arab Muslim guy do that same with the camel. Now, in fact, Vice has a documentary on YouTube where they show in this, I don't know, South American country where if a boy has to be a man, serious, huh? This is not joke. If a boy has to be a man, he has to have sex with a donkey. And they actually encourage boys to do that. After you break your virginity doing that, then you're considered a man. Don't take my word for it. Search on YouTube. And even, I think in the Jewish custom, I'm not too sure, it seems the priest or someone, he bites the foreskin of the child. I don't know how far that's true. There's a practice that they do that. They actually bite it off with their mouth. Whew. Yes, I've seen lots of things which are shocking. So the point I'm trying to make through this video is, yes, there are pretty shocking behaviors, cultures, religious practices which are still being followed, whether it's in Islam where Afghanistan and Pakistan, they take underage children, we are talking of babies, 2-3-year-old. You can search this online. Afghani, he's a 60-year-old man or 50, takes a small 8-9-year-old girl in exchange for money as his bride. The girl is crying and all the sisters and the family is doing it to survive. They have 11 children or 12 children or 15. What can you do, man? This is how the world is. See, even, for example, my wife, she goes to the forest. I've told you, they take ants, red ants, which bite you. They take these ants, they take ants' eggs. There are some people, Thai people, who even eat, I've seen this video where buffalo, after killing it, the intestines, everything is raw. They'll eat it with some spice. There are some places in Philippines where they eat dogs, cats. I've seen Chinese eat rats and snakes, and some of them, like, literally, even if they are alive, they eat. See, overall, even for that matter, the West, okay, if you really search, you'll find very disturbing practices. Okay, so let's not point fingers at others. Let's look into, maybe ourselves and figure out, okay, fine, they have this shocking thing in their culture. What's the shocking thing in my culture? And just because you're born into one doesn't mean, rest, everyone is disgusting. Yes, there are some universal things which are unacceptable, like, selling small children or getting underage babies or children get married to adults. That is universal. But what you eat and how do you make and all that, it's based on so many factors. So I would just like to conclude by telling you that these videos are true. The reason why they're floating around is because people want clout, people want views, people want comments, they want their video to go viral, and that's how they stay relevant. But eventually there will come a time where I think one too many videos like this, and then people will lose interest. Like, how many videos can you see where people are eating live animals? How many videos? At some point you lose interest, right? So I would just say that just let them be. Let them have their desires fulfilled, their curiosity, and eventually it'll die out. It's a trend. So when something new is there, everyone like, oh, wow. Eventually it dies out. All right? Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And let me know, did you see such a video? If you did, what was your reaction? And did you take it personally? Did you feel bad when they said, "Oh, see, Indians are not"? For me, I just laugh it off. I'm like, yeah, it's true. This happens in poor places. That's it. They don't want to hear anything contrary to what they want to believe. They want to hear what they want to hear. So I'll leave it at that. All right. So this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. Ciao.